For years, I was at war with my dinner plate. I had a list of foods I wasn't allowed to touch. Bread, pasta, definitely not dessert. But the more I told myself no, the more I ended up binging on these exact foods, followed by this huge wave of guilt. If that even sounds a little bit familiar, stick around. We're gonna dive into this today. My days used to run on a silent scoreboard. Salad for lunch, 10 points. A few almonds for our snack? Cool, another 5 points. I was on a roll. But then a coworker would bring in a box of donuts, and then my whole system came crashing down. One donut, a bad food, would wipe out my whole day. What did it matter anymore after that, right? A single donut turned into 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, then a trip to the grocery store for some cookies and some ice cream, or hit that fast food joint on the way home. The day was shot. What did it matter, really? I'd eat until I couldn't eat anymore, followed by that shame that came right after. The next morning was a huge wave of guilt, and the day started all over with my scoreboard, right? The only answer I thought was hitting the day more strictly than the one before. I would do an extra long workout, which I knew I wasn't gonna have the energy for, and then I'd double down on my forbidden food list. This wasn't a once in a while thing. This is every day. This is my life. It was a draining, constant battle in my head. Food wasn't just fuel. It had become a moral crisis for me. Eating a good food made me feel righteous, in control. But eating a bad food made me feel like a total failure. Somehow, my self-worth got tied to whatever was on my plate. And that is exhausting. I was trapped in what psychologists call black or white thinking, or all or nothing thinking. If I wasn't eating perfectly, I was failing completely. There was no gray area, no room for being human, and definitely no room for joy. That constant mental battle, that food noise, was deafening. It was a never-ending chatter about what I should or should not eat, what I ate yesterday, and how I was going to fix that tomorrow. It drained my energy, my focus, and my ability to just be present. I was so obsessed with the rules I'd created, I couldn't enjoy a dinner out with friends or a piece of birthday cake without that constant running judgment in my head. I knew something had to give, but I didn't know how to end the war. My breaking point came after a really bad binge and restrict spiral. I was scrolling online, like most of us do, looking for a new diet or a new paradigm or something that was gonna help me fix myself. But instead, I came across a new term, food neutrality. The idea was almost shockingly simple. Food has no moral value. It's not good or bad. It's just food. Reading this felt like somebody flipped the light on in a room that I didn't even know was dark. The concept that a brownie wasn't sinful and a salad wasn't virtuous was revolutionary. They were just different combinations of carbs and proteins and fats with different nutritional makeups. Now, this isn't about pretending that a cookie and a head of broccoli are the same, nutritionally speaking. Of course they aren't. Food neutrality acknowledges that different foods have different nutritional values, but it also recognizes that it's completely separate from your moral standing. Eating a cookie doesn't make you a bad person, and eating a salad doesn't make you a good one. It just means you ate a cookie or you ate a salad. This idea felt like the key to unlocking that prison I'd created for myself. It suggested that food wasn't the problem, and my lack of willpower wasn't the problem either. The problem was the labels themselves. It was the first time I realized that I wasn't broken. It was the system I was using that was broken. So why does labeling foods as good and bad fail so ridiculously? It all boils down to a psychological principle. We all want what we can't have. When you label a food as off limits, we don't magically stop wanting it. You actually put it on this pedestal and it becomes a forbidden fruit that just cranks up your desire for it. And this creates that toxic pattern known as the binge and restrict cycle. You start by restricting the bad foods, which leads to intense feelings of deprivation. Eventually, the deprivation gets so intense that you end up binging on the very foods you were trying to stay away from. And then comes that crash, that wave of guilt and shame. You feel like a failure, and to get back in control, what do? You restrict even harder, vowing to get better tomorrow, which just restarts the whole cycle. Assigning moral value to food is dangerous because it wires your self-esteem directly to your plate. This is a type of cognitive distortion. You start to believe that you are good when you eat good foods and you are bad when you eat bad foods. This can lead to serious psychological stress, anxiety, and depression. This constant self-judgment completely hijacks your body's natural ability to know when it's hungry or not. You can't hear your body's signals when you're constantly listening to that inner chatter about the rules you made up for yourself. Think of it like a Chinese finger trap. The harder you pull, the more you restrict and fight against the bad foods, the harder it is to get out of the trap. The only way to get out is to relax, lean in, and let the trap go. Food neutrality is that relaxation. It gives up that fight, which paradoxically is the only way to win. It takes the emotional power away from the food, allowing you to see it for what it is. Just food. If any of this is hitting home for you, the guilt, the restriction, the feeling out of control, I'd like to hear about it in the comments. Sharing your story can be a huge first step, and I'd like to create a community where we could cheer each other on. And while you're at it, hit that like and subscribe button. Okay, the concept sounds great, but how do you actually do it? Especially when you've been labeling food your whole life. It's a process for sure, and it takes a lot of self-compassion and patience. But here are 3 actionable steps you can do today. 1, give yourself unconditional permission to eat. This is a core principle of intuitive eating, and I know it sounds scary. Most of us think if we allow ourselves to eat anything, we'll eat pizza, ice cream, and we'll never look at another vegetable again. But that fear comes from a place of restriction. When you genuinely remove the labels, those forbidden foods lose their magic. You might eat more of them at first, and that's okay. That's just your body recalibrating. Over time, you find that you'll start to crave those foods that make you feel energized and good. And you end up making those choices from a place of self-care, not judgment. Number 2, practice mindful eating. So much of our food guilt comes from eating mindlessly while we're distracted, stressed, and rushing around. Mindful eating is just the practice of being present with your food. This means putting away your phone, turning off your TV, and just eating your food. Pay attention while you do it. Notice the textures, the flavors, the smells. Ask yourself, do I really like how this tastes? Is it satisfying? When you eat slowly and without distraction, you can hear those body signals that are telling you that, hey, you've had enough. You'll start to notice when you're comfortably full, and you can stop because you're satisfied, not because you hit a predetermined portion size. 3, challenge your language. The words we use matter. Start by noticing when you use words like good, bad, healthy, unhealthy, clean, or junk to describe food. You can't change a habit until you're aware of it. When you catch yourself, try reframing it with neutral, descriptive language. Instead of I'm being so bad for eating this cookie, try I'm eating a cookie that's sweet and crunchy. Instead of I should have a salad, try asking yourself, what does my body really feel like it needs right now? What would be both nourishing and satisfying right now? This little shift dismantles that food hierarchy in your mind, one thought at a time. Living with food neutrality is peaceful. That's honestly the best word for it. That constant food chatter in the head is just gone. The scoreboard's been tossed out. The war's over. I can eat pasta now without a second thought. I can have a slice of cake and enjoy it without it sending me into a spiral and planning to restrict the next day. But you know what I found? I eat vegetables now more than I ever did before. Not because I have to, but I genuinely enjoy how they make me feel. When all the foods are on a level playing field, you can make choices based on what you truly want and what you need at the time. Sometimes it's a nutrient-dense food that gives you energy for a long time. And sometimes it's a donut with a friend because it nourishes your soul and feeds connection. Both are valid, and that's okay. This journey has given me back so much mental real estate. I'm present in my life, I trust my body, and I'm actually enjoying the foods I eat. Breaking up with diet culture and the good foods versus the bad foods is one of the best acts of self-care you can do. Peace with food is possible, and it starts with just this one simple thought. Food is just food. Your worth is not on your plate. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. Really helps the channel out. And remember to subscribe for more content. I'll see you on the next one.